But I think we got to start at Anfield because this could go down as the day that Liverpool dropped out of the title race. Yeah. Or not, because there could be more twists and turns.
They could.
They're held to a 1-1 draw by Tottenham Hotspur. The gap now, with Manchester City winning the next day, is 3 points. Jules, you were there. Could you sense the shift in momentum? Or was it a bit flat from the players?
Yeah, I thought the players, I think there was a feeling all around the stadium with the fans that it was really tricky. I mean, it's a no-brainer. We knew that Spurs could come and cause them problem, the way they attack, especially more the way they defend. And I thought the fans responded really well because the atmosphere was really incredible. Almost if the fans could sense, okay, we need an extra support there because this is going to be tricky. I'm sure some were very optimistic and thinking they were going to win easy, but I think a lot of the fans within the stadium were like, this is not going to be easy today, and today could not go like as expected. And we might not win. And I think you could sense that. But then I thought the players were flat. I wonder if Klopp should have made more changes compared to the team that played against Villarreal and that gave so much and the intensity was so high in midweek in the Champions League, because they look very tired very quickly, I have to say. And I think that was part of the problem, on top of obviously the game plan that Spurs had that worked very well for them, as frustrated that was for Liverpool and the players and the fans.
Yeah, from Tottenham's perspective, obviously they're in this hunt for the top four. It feels like the momentum is with Arsenal. Obviously, when they took the pitch, Arsenal hadn't played yet, and they back of their minds they've got the North London derby coming up on Thursday. But it looked to me like, and we'll get to Klopp's comments in a minute. It looked to me like Spurs had a fairly clear game plan, and they knew that ultimately, I mean, sometimes we overcomplicate the game, but if you have Son and Kane against attacking fullbacks, there's always going to be a moment. You know, you can play badly, you can absorb pressure for a long stretch, and I'm not saying that necessarily happened.
Yeah.
And then you have a chance out of nowhere or out of very little.
Yeah, completely. The 5-4-1 defensively, when they didn't have the ball, worked so well. Not that they were super deep, but they were deep enough in their own half to frustrate Liverpool, not give them much space, not give them much chances. Because if you look, apart from the header from Van Dijk on the bar, and the goal is deflected, but apart from that, there isn't much. Sessegnon's header towards his own goal, saved by Lloris, and then that's pretty it. So they did that really well. And then on the counter, we'll dissect the Spurs goal because Liverpool are all over the place defensively on that. The back four is just upside down completely. But I spoke to Lloris after the game and he said, we worked so hard all week, every day, long days about this game plan and the defending and all of that it paid off.
One of the things, and you mentioned it, the defensiveness, and I'm wondering at some point whether we see Klopp and Pep. I think it's fair to say we both like them. We're both loved by the media. Yeah. Both had comments this weekend where you're wondering if things are getting to them a little bit. Klopp couldn't help after the game coming out, and I am paraphrasing here and saying that, oh, right, Tottenham had a game plan. It's right for them. Who am I to judge? But I don't like it. It's not for me. But you go ahead, do what you like. But I don't like it. Blah blah.
And they're fifth. And they're fifth in the table. He kept saying they're fifth in the table.
It's a bit.
What, bad loser?
It's not a side of Klopp that we'd seen. Obviously, I think we understand that he likes attacking football. He likes more proactive football. Equally, if you were flying the Conte flag, which I'm gonna do for a second here, it could be like, dude, I took over in November. You've been there 6 years. Will you give me some freaking time? We're going away from home against the best team in the world. I've got a tremendous counterattacker in Heung-min Son.
Yeah.
Why should I go and try to beat you at your own game? I should have counter press, play a high press so the ball can go over Emerson's head and I look like an idiot again. Why? Please, Jurgen, tell me.
No, of course. But you can still play a bit more with the ball, be a bit more proactive, be a bit more attacking than what they did. And that worked for them. It's fine. And we all wrote them off before the game saying like they're never going to get even a point there. And they did. But I think Klopp's comment was more like, surely with those players, and I agree with him, you could play more expensive style of football than what they did on Saturday.
With what players?
I mean, Kulusevski touched the ball mostly in his own 30-yard line or 40 yards.
Is it Kulusevski who tore up Serie A for Juve from the bench?
No, but it's not that. Don't give me that there's not enough players in that team.
No, I'm not saying there's not enough players.
And maybe they would have lost. Maybe they would have won as well. If we go back to the debate about Villarreal, it's the same debate, Gab. It's the same debate. But I understand Klopp and Conte.
I think Klopp let himself down a little bit when he said that. I thought that was a bit unnecessary. And personally, I think if he could have it again, I think he might take that back.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.